Hi, Karina here, your Lucid Living Coach. Hello, dreamers. How are you? So, yes, I got my bangs cut. I cut my bangs. Yeah, I might mess with them a little bit. I just thought this would be perfect for the new moon in Gemini. It is a new beginning. It is June 3rd, which is tomorrow, but pretty much today because it doesn't happen until like 2:30 something in the morning. And it's at 12 degrees, which is a numerology 3. And Gemini rules the 3rd house. And it is the 6th month, the 3rd day, and 2019 is an astrology 3 year. So that also adds up to a 3. And if you're Pacific Coast time, the rising during this exact new moon is at 3 degrees Aries. So we have a lot of 3s going on, right? And 3 is about the holy trine, mind, body, spirit, these aspects, okay? You can't make this shit up. It's crazy because this new moon is really about balancing these 3 aspects of ourselves. We're coming up to a lot of quick changes. This could be changes to our daily life, our perspective of life, relationships, a new outlook, and a new beginning in any aspect of our life, okay? This could be in our relationships, our partnerships, our jobs. We could be wanting to change our minds, and that's okay, because really the moon is a reflection of our perception, right, and our mind. And it's in Gemini. And Gemini is the messenger between the worlds. Gemini's ruler is Mercury. And Mercury is at 27 degrees Gemini. That is a numerology 9, which is the ruler of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the opposing sign of this particular new moon. Now, we have Jupiter sitting across the sky from this new moon, which is having this direct conversation with this new beginning, as well as Mercury, its ruler. So Mercury is our communication. And this could be also changing our minds about which career path that we're taking, or maybe we've had the same career for a long time and we're beginning to have a realization that this career is no longer serving our higher self and we're wanting to shift out of that. That could also be the case. Also, living situations, or maybe even groups of people. Okay, it could be like you've been a member of a certain organization and now you're looking to change organizations, or groups of friends. So this is just a few things that this new moon might be directly impacting you. Because Mercury is the ruler of this new moon, it's home of Gemini, which makes this new moon more potent. Going back to the 3s, it is the holy number. Okay, so whomever that you pray to is speaking to you. So listen, take some time out for meditation. This speaks of balancing the mind, body, spirit, and aligning your thoughts with your heart, and let your actions speak louder. So this is an action time. The spring has sprung. We are planting the seeds of manifestation. The last Gemini cycle in the moon, which was the full moon on November 20th of 2018. Yeah, so that was the full moon for Thanksgiving. There was a lot of energy that was being circulated during that time, okay? There was a lot of past hurts coming up. There was past groups, past friendships, or even just the energy of something that you let go of a long time, returning to show you what exactly you don't want. So there was a lot of stuff coming up about our relationships, our partnerships, the tribe and the community of people that we surround ourselves with, and seeing its true nature. It was intense to say the least. Like many full moons, This is about asking yourself who was in your life then that is not in your life now. Now, for those that aren't in your life, where those people removed with this conscious choice, and then the next question is, did you protect yourself from the ones that wasn't showing you respect and support for who you are? And if that is the case, if you consciously removed them, then congratulations. If not, are you seeing those people or things or situations or energy that needs to be removed because they are no longer supporting you in your higher evolution of self? So this is a new beginning, a new fresh start to make some room for the new relationships, friendships, partnerships, and new community and tribe. Because Gemini is about community. It's about networking. It's communication with others. Let's see, what else? I'm kind of going off my notes, so excuse me for being very direct and robotic, but I like to make sure that I'm getting the points across that I have meditated and took notes on. So let's see. The last year's Gemini new moon was June 13th. So keep that in mind. Also, if you're hearing something of a different perspective than your own, try to steer away from being snotty or dogmatic about your own beliefs, and try to listen with an opening mind and a heart to understand than to be understood. This is super important, especially with Jupiter opposing this. We could feel like we know best and that our beliefs and our perspectives is the right perspective. And now that can close you off to seeing someone else's perspective and their beliefs that could possibly teach you something. So don't just jump to conclusions. Just because you have a belief, it doesn't mean that they don't have the same belief. They just might have a different perspective and a way of going about that. So we tend to do this when your Mercury's opposite transiting Mercury. I'm just kidding. Because, you know, a lot of people do not understand the terminology of astrology. If you don't study it, then you're not going to get it. But it tends to be our ego will get upset because it's not understanding or it has cognitive dissonance. It's pretty much like if you believe in something to be true for so long and you see that something opposes that belief, even if there's dedicated proof that that is maybe a more evolved way of looking at it and it's more true now, you won't go over to the new found evidence that supports this new belief because you've believed something for so long to be true that your ego won't allow you to, because then you would feel like you're being a hypocrite or going back on yourself. I don't know. That's kind of like a brief explanation. But if your brain and body and energy want to change, just let it change. I mean, flow, be like fucking water, okay? Be the water, flow. It's okay to evolve and change and be flexible. It doesn't mean that you were wrong in the past. It just means that you've evolved and the time has evolved. And now there's a new truth to be looked on. And it could essentially be the same truth, right? But it's just in a different packaging because packaging changes. Like all the time. That's how marketing goes if you think about it. Be like, oh, I used to buy this deodorant and now I can't find it. And the person at the store is like, oh, it's right there. And I'm like, oh, they changed their packaging. I couldn't find it. But I see, it's not going to be like, I'm not going to be like, that's not my deodorant because it has a different packaging. It's not my deodorant. So that was just a little example. I don't want to get too off subject. Okay, getting back on track. After the new moon, we will be feeling this growing of energy. Okay, this is a great time of manifestation. Okay, it's going to be growing to the full moon in Sagittarius. I'm excited about that. So there is a beginning happening now in Gemini, and there's a completion happening for Sagittarius. So during this time, our luck and good fortune and happiness is starting to rise. Okay, it's starting to grow. We're feeling luckier. We're feeling expansive. We're feeling the ball rolling and moving forward. We are plunging into spring. Enjoy it. Remembering that every good thing must come to an end. So don't be getting all extra, people. Don't be being like, look at me, whoop, 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 whoop. You know what I'm saying? Don't be rubbing in people's faces because it just might be taken away. So, Mars is coming up to the North Node, and Juno's there, all being at home in emotions and feminine energy. It's making it look all good, you know? So Mars and Saturn are both the malefics. They'll be opposing one another. And this could be frustrating of things that are getting in our way or that are slowing us down from being where we want to be, or not having what we want yet. And remembering that everything is a process. And Nadia Shah, which I met in Seattle at the NORWAC convention just last week, she always says there's no magical pill. There's only a magical process. And also keeping that in mind, that these malefics are there to create dichotomy and character through these shadows. And these shadows are there to guide us. My laptop just died. This is crazy. It's definitely the energy of like Mercury retrograde, but it's not. And the Gmail's down. Like I can't even pull Gmail up. And then my laptop just died. Also keeping in mind that these malefics are there to create dichotomy and character. These shadows are guides to the light. So I wanted to give a little example. Spirit kept saying to me that everything changes when being observed, as well as things in our perspective change when we observe. So this is a great time. And hello, Miss Miyagi. So this is a little example. Miss Miyagi is my beautiful cat, and I decided to allow her to go into like the kitchen window. So I have my sink and I have a window, and I like to keep it open because she's an indoor cat, so she can go get fresh air and look outside. So I decided to allow her to do that. She tried to get away with getting up on all my kitchen counters, and then I taught her to only go over there. Then I started noticing cat hair, like all over like my dryer rack and my clean dishes. So me being a Virgo moon that I am, I was not having it. I was like, that is gross. I don't want her up there anymore. Well, when I had left for a week to Seattle and I came back, I thought, you know, I really want her to be able to continue getting up in that window, and I don't want the cat hair all over my clean dishes. So I was thinking about maybe a happy medium that I can come to. And the thought came to me when she jumps up on this side, and that's where my clean dishes are. And this is where my dirty dishes are. So all I did was change perspectives. I switched sides and I put the dirty dishes on where she gets up, and I put the clean dishes on the other side. So the dirty dishes already have the cat hair on it. So just a small little adjustment in perspective really made me happy, because I want to make her happy too. And I was able to do that with just a change in perspective and a change in the situation of my habit. So if you want to make change, we have to change our habits. And if the habits aren't really necessary, then why not change them? Kind of thing. So I wanted also to talk about Gemini and Sagittarius is the twin flame portal. So there are shifts that are happening. Gemini is also about soul, personality, and communications. This is another try, and it's the higher self and lower self. So our lower selves are trying to pull out our higher selves, and the relating of the pairs of opposites and the building of being able to communicate that. The bridge between the soul and personality that needs to be built with heartfelt service to humanity, study, and to our meditation as well. So there are 3 pillars to build the bridge of our communication and awakening. So quiet the lower self to hear the higher self speak. I see my other self, and in the waning of that self, I grow and glow. So the ruler of Gemini is Mercury, and the esoteric ruler is Venus. So it's everything that we value and that we consider beautiful. So with that being said, feel with your mind and think with your heart and find that balance, because that is our true authentic self, and let that be seen and be reflected in the world so we could all see who you really are. So thank you for listening. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you on my next video. Your lucid living coach, and keep dreaming, dreamers. Shoot high rather than low, because higher you shoot, then the higher you'll achieve. So if you'd like help transitioning, please click my link below. You can personally message me and go to my website, check out my rates. And I also have a free 20-minute consultation, and your first hour, $25. You can't beat that. So I will see you later. Have a great full moon in Gemini. Peace out.